Welcome back to the ASUS ROG DreamLeague as we get ready to go into Evil Geniuses against Alliance. But to quickly recap last game, Cloud9 versus Na'Vi. Cloud9 winning that is going to hurt Na'Vi's chances, but also keeps Cloud9 in chance to get that first place. Speaking of kind of players of the match that did really well, super impressed by Pailai.
Yeah, he had a really solid game. He had some pretty clutch escapes. There was that one like gank he tanked bottom, but that was pretty much like the only time where I was like, okay, that was a little bit questionable. But he had a really good epi in mid, like right before the game was about to be over. Like he blinked into trees, and then he burrowed out. And then he got out, and then managed to get an epi after.
Yeah, he started off with a Sandstorm, and then BK beat just before Deafening Blast came out and Meteor, and then and his ulti was actually on top of Vacuum as well. So they pretty much got everybody in it. He played a really good game. Talking from Na'Vi's side, you mentioned Medusa not being maybe what you wanted to see mid-game and allowed the item progression from Eternal Envy to kind of increase. Would you have got, like, I was thinking maybe, like, could you have gone Morphling instead? What do you guys...
I think Morphling would have been nigh unkillable, actually, like, for that particular combo, because they needed, like, everything in the tank just to kill the Medusa, a hero with no escapes. And then if you are able to just waveform in the tower, you can morph the rest of the stats. It would have been a much harder dive. Maybe Cloud9 don't feel that comfortable doing that. Yeah. But at the same time, if you pick the Morphling and you're not really pressuring the map, and then they're like, okay, we're not going to gank, we're just going to sit in our woods and farm, they still would have gotten a decent amount from it. So I'm not sure if that would have necessarily like done way better.
Morphling was banned. I'm not
sure. I think it would have done marginally better. Was it banned?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it would have been a nice choice if it was available.
Yeah, I like the fact that Eternal Envy actually went Battle Fury first to make sure you have that, like, the good farm and damage output. How did you make?
I liked it because again, like we mentioned it during the game, it's that window of okay, if I go first item BKB by 25 minutes, my BKB is 4 seconds, like pretty much 9 games out of 10, right? But against a Medusa team who's not even getting Mystic Snake, there's not really a whole lot of burst unless they just totally catch me. In which case, if I get caught, I'm dead even with a BKB because I'll die in the stun. Because you have like Flare and Sunstrike and everything else that they have as well, which like AA Blast, stuff like that. So I think it's fine because by the time you get the BKB, you have 1 damage item. So you're like, you go from being like, okay, not really a threat to holy shit, we don't have any way of stopping him, and he's going to kill somebody.
All right, well there we go. It was Cloud9 to take the victory, and of course Na'Vi losing actually does give a better chance to Evil Geniuses, and we can check out the standings and see exactly where the chance stands. And I believe that Na'Vi are now on 6 losses, I want to say. 7 and 6. And Evil Geniuses are currently 6 and 4 and in 7th place, ready to kind of push up and potentially push Na'Vi down.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, the way Na'Vi is right now, it's even worse than that because Fnatic, which was below them, is now at 7-5. And now with Na'Vi with 6 losses, they only have 1 more game to play. I think it's going to be the game versus Fnatic. And that game is going to be super important.
Huge, yeah.
Super, super important. Fnatic has 1 more game, but even if they lose, even if Fnatic loses the game that's not versus Na'Vi, Fnatic-Na'Vi could be a game that would decide the 6th place.
EG, just like you have to consider, it's like, okay, next match is Alliance. The match after that is Meet Your Makers. If you're going to play that final match on form, you'll say that EG should take it. So you can even say they're 7 and 4 on paper if you want to count that match against Meet Your Makers, which is rude to do, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Well, I mean, everyone else gets the win, so why wouldn't they?
Yeah. Maybe they're just not that charitable when it comes to EG. We'll have to see if that's going to be the case. How's the game looking?
We had to rehost. I think the team had like the wrong pick or something, like wrong first pick, so we're just rehosting the lobby. It should be starting though momentarily.
Yeah. I was backstage watching Wepa set up the lobby, and EGM always wants to get a 2nd pick.
For the 2 picks?
Yeah.
It's very important if you think about it, because it's getting those 2 picks means that you can get something secure, and it doesn't have to be a combo like Wisp and Tiny necessarily. It can be just 2 strong supports or a combination of heroes that doesn't really give away your lineup. Like for example, getting Grave King, getting
Rubik Darkseer.
Rubik Darkseer, that kind of stuff, and it's really good. EGM is doing an amazing work drafting.
Yeah, you think? What did you make of the draft against Fnatic when they lost? Did you think that was theirs to win?
I don't think it was a problem with the draft. It was just like how the game unfolded. And if you think about it, they weren't really losing too much. And when you're playing against a Wisp Tiny, it's just a mistake that makes you lose the game. But
I felt that the Lich had too much items and not the right items. Like Midas, Axe, and a point booster. If he got a Hex, I think it would have at least made a difference.
I still think it's just on the Hex, though. I mean, it's like what Bruno said. There were mistakes.
Okay, what about Dagon 5?
I think it's really good against Wisp.
Like
I really think
no
it
joke,
is good. Yeah.
But in the past.
We'll never know.
I'm going to put you in EGM's shoes, Lumi.
Yeah.
If you're going up versus EG, what playstyle are you expecting EG to bring, and what are you going to try and draft against them?
For EG, they generally put a farming carry mid, and most teams are responding by kind of just ganking RTZ nonstop mid. And how EG recover is to have good rotating support from Zai and PPD. So to me, I think you actually let RTZ do whatever he wants, and you shut down the 2 supports. I feel like whenever EG loses the game, it's because their supports are not rotating enough, and RTZ can't really 1v5 in that situation.
Does that mean that you aggressive try EG necessarily?
I think you take away some of EG's best support heroes. Treant Protector is one of Pilot or PPD's best hero. Rave King is one of their go-to heroes as well. And then, yeah, I think tri-lane, offensive tri-lane is a good way to go. At the same time, though, EG does pick very, very non-greedy safe laners for Mason. They pick things like Mirana and whatnot. So tri-laning into that might be a little bit dangerous.
What happens if you, instead of going offensive tri-lane, you go for a very early pushing team, you say you get a Chen, and you get some other hero that helps the push, and you just force the support into that lane by pushing tier 1 and tier 2 immediately.
I mean, I think you're going to force a rotation, but you're not going to force them away for like 5 minutes.
Okay.
So I don't think that's going to work that well. But we'll see. I mean, EGM knows a lot more, so.
All right. Well, I'm assuming the game's ready?
Yep.
And we're in. So we're going to go into the match. It's Evil Geniuses versus Alliance. I could say more important for EG. They definitely want to get into the top 6. Alliance are already there, but of course they don't want to slip either. So we'll see who's going to take it as we go into the match. I'm actually going to be joining you, Andy and Lumi. We're giving Shane a game off. You look really pleased. We don't want to tell you, but Shane will grab my chair, and it's the best commentary you've ever seen or heard.
I'm ready, man.
Yeah. Let's go into the game. It's going to be Evil Geniuses versus Alliance. EG playing on the Radiant side, and when they do play Radiant side, they never really prefer Lycan. So I don't think we're going to see a Lycan high pick.
Well, it's first banned.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not available, but, you know, good talk. Good talk.
Yeah, I didn't see, because we're picking up chairs.
I wasn't listening. What?
No, he was talking about how Lycan is, like, pretty good, and then we were just like, yeah, it's banned.
Do I get the mouse?
Yeah, you get the mouse.
Well, Lumi can use my PC, or James can sit here and use my PC.
No, it's okay. It's cool.
Oh, okay.
Did you notice the Ember Spirit kind of disappeared after 681?
It's because people are pressuring so hard now that Ember is one of those heroes that can kind of initiate fights with Sleight of Fist and Searing Chains, and also the nerf probably hurt him quite a bit too. You no longer have the 3-second duration on Searing Chains at level 3 now, it's 4. So you have to fully commit all those points, which an extra point in a Flame Guard is the difference between 50 damage absorb and 150. Yeah. Like that's the difference, because it goes 50 to 200, right? So it's a pretty big deal. It can mean you die maybe 1 or 2 extra times, and people just realized, hey, we can just lane against this hero and kind of poop on him pretty bad. So I'm not really surprised he's kind of fallen off, but also keep in mind that Dota as a game in general is very trendy. People like to do things that other teams do, and usually the innovators are the ones who come out really big in tournaments, so see if anybody wants to innovate here.
Well, they're just straight up banning out all of EG's most played heroes, which is Mirana, Rave King, Treant, and now Shadow Demon.
Is Treant one of their most played?
Yeah, PDD is
PPD,
actually...
man, he's got a 94% win rate with that hero over 20 games, or more than 20 games.
In competitive games.
In competitive games.
Doesn't even throw a couple of pub stats in there as well. So like, buff it.
PPD's win rate on Tree. Isn't it like
Bruno.
94% or something?
Did they ban Tree?
Like 92 or 93, something like that.
Teams just straight up ban Tree against EG. Like they
How do they end up using it in terms of synergy with everyone else? Is it just to keep the game going longer, or is it to support the mid?
No, he gets kills. Like, he typically starts with boots most of the time, and then he either finds a lane with a weak support and just runs at it.
Punches him.
Yeah, and a lot of the time, like, for whatever reason, people just fail to realize that Tree has, like, the highest base damage, and you get hit for a lot, and then you die.
We actually had an interview with PPD on one of the DreamLeague days, and he said that it also really allows their team to do more, like, greedy lanings. So you could do, like, 2 melee top, and you get away with that. So for now, they're going to actually pick up Bane, which is a much-needed lockdown against Weaver.
I'm a little bit skeptical about picking a Weaver into a Batrider already, but I guess it's one of those things where you can either go on the Invoker or you can go on the Weaver, right? Like, say you're in, like, a 5-on-5 scenario, which, as Alliance's team, may or may not happen. We don't know yet. But it kind of forces the Batrider to decide, like, which hero is better to lasso in any given situation. But it also means that the Weaver is going to have a lot harder of a time making any split push happen. Because typically you're going to build right into a Linken's as Weaver, but Batrider is going to have his blink well before that. So assuming that's the case, they're probably looking to draw this game out a little bit longer, I think.
Question for you. Weaver normally doesn't go BKB.
Normally, right.
I mean, could go as a very late game item, but you get Linken's and then you want some damage, because if you go Linken's BKB, you don't do anything.
Yep.
So here's the thing. I see Evil Geniuses, and I see 2 heroes that are very specifically about stopping BKBs, which is Batrider and Bane. Finn's Grip and Lasso, 2 of the best abilities to stop BKBs. Invoker will not go BKB, AA is not going BKB, and Weaver isn't either. So why is Evil Geniuses picking these heroes? It's just they're good?
Bat's ridiculously good. Like, even against heroes who wouldn't go BKB, the power of pulling somebody out of position is nuts. Sorry, James.
No, I was just like going, well done. Bruno was looking at me like going, yeah, look how smart I am. And I kind of did the nod back like, yeah, well done.
Yeah.
Good point.
Great.
Yeah, but
2 points, Bruno.
Fist bump.
1 point, Andy.
Don't leave me hanging.
What?
Huh? What? Oh, sorry. Fist bump.
Oh, they left you hanging, man. It's rough.
Yeah, but as you mentioned, their ultis in terms of what they can do is ridiculously strong. So it's not even bad if you are going to play for a BKB.
Now you get the Doom. Does Doom disable glaives? It does.
It disables, like, everything.
Well, not everything. Not Assault Cuirassor.
Not AC, for whatever reason.
For whatever reason. They haven't changed that yet.
Yeah.
Even though we put it
Doesn't
in
it disable Vlad's, too?
Yes, it does. That's why it makes no sense.
But it doesn't disable AC.
AC. I don't know. I have to submit.
It's more expensive an item, right? Like, it could make sense.
Just go fix it right now.
I forgot about it.
Just put a patch in. It's happened before. There have been big patches during tournament games.
It's probably going to be, like, self-fixed. Yeah. And then you never know.
Isn't it just, like, changing a statement to, like, true or something?
Yeah, it is.
That's literally
It's just like remove AC from the list of exceptions.
Just can't do that.
I can't believe you didn't fix it already, Bruno.
Well, I just wanted to see if anyone else figured it out.
To be fair, though, Doom is
it's only us talking about it.
Doom did just get nerfed, though, like the ability Doom.
Yes.
Because now you can use Pipe and things like Flame Guard, whereas before the Doom would just go right through that. Now it actually gets absorbed. So he is a little bit weaker, but still a very good hero.
Yep.
I feel like Alliance needs some sort of lockdown in a team fight as their last pickup. It's like, even if you play the Invoker as Quaswex, or you want to play in Zork...
This looks like a Lumi lineup.
It's like... Yeah,
this looks like a Lumi lineup.
Like, greedy as hell, no stuns.
Yeah, but like, that's what I mean. Like, even if you played Invoker, Quaswex, which I think you should, versus this lineup, you kind of need something else to get in there and do some damage. I mean, sure, the Doom can, have a Centaur.
He's going to go Exort.
I was actually going to suggest Rubik as a secondary support, stealing that Fiend's Grip.
It's
but they ban it out.
It's an aggressive tri-lane. That's why they're doing this. Like, Weaver AA, then the Doom solos against the Bat, and then you have a tri-lane with, very good kill potential and diving potential against a Bane, who is not really good against a Baden, because you can just shield off the Nightmare, and you can dive super aggressively with a Weaver.
So just run at them, don't need stuns.
Yeah, but like, Dragon Knight, man, that's tanky. Luna, that's not something you necessarily want to run at. And then you've got the support of the Bane. I much prefer EG's lineup right here. It depends really how the Abaddon's going to play out. But then a Kunkka, surprise
support Kunkka.
Looks like it.
Okay.
Been calling
Shout
it for
out
years,
to
man.
2010, right?
Yeah, like, it's actually
how many stuns does the Kunkka have?
3.
Half.
2.
3. Half a stun.
Half a stun.
Okay.
2 stuns.
Well, when Bruno's playing Kunkka, like, yeah, half a stun is about right.
It's no reliable stun. The word reliable is important.
The reliable player, Bruno, that we needed.
It's pretty reliable, man.
Not early.
Well, as Kunkka, you're going to go like 102 as support.
Yeah, as a support, yeah.
So, could be decent. Plus, you don't even actually need X with a Bane.
No, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Assuming it's not like, if it's tri-lane versus tri-lane, I seriously doubt you'll ever land a torrent. Like with that, you might land one just like by happenstance, but you're not going to get like a nightmare into torrent combo against two ranged heroes and an Abad.
Do you think the Kunkka was picked mainly for his ulti as opposed to actually what he offers on his stuns and kind of other abilities as a support? Just because the Alliance lineup with the Abaddon and Doom being able to draw out fights pretty long, the Kunkka kind of gives you the same,
It negates the effects.
Yeah,
and it lets you like weather the storm.
Yeah. Because otherwise, it looked like Alliance could, if they, even though they don't have stuns, can at least stand there, keep fighting. In terms of health regen and everything else, and then. With the AA ulti.
It gives them a way to actually be able to walk in and not have to worry about like Exort Invoker with Book, which I think is probably what's going to happen. Yeah. Because if you get a Wolf creep, you go Exort Invoker with Book, and you have a Weaver with Chilling Touch, like your damage output is ridiculous. You just focus somebody with auto attacks and a Cold Snap, and they're dead. Like there's not really any way you can come back from that. And because of the fact that they are going aggressive, there is the potential for Sunstrikes to land. It's a lot harder because they don't have any disables. But there is still the potential for kills to happen.
It's kind of a nice pickup. It'll be interesting to see how that Kunkka is going to work out. But it really could sway the team fights back in EG's favor, depending on how it all kicks off.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Like you can't actually shield the X, correct?
No,
like
you cannot shield. You cannot shield X. No.
Okay, so I think this also gives a very reliable way to deal with the Weaver. Because normally when you're initiating a stun, he has things like time lapse, Sakuchi gets out. But if he gets like X on you, it doesn't matter what you do. You're caught into a torrent and possibly into a bolt if you time things correctly as well. That's more than enough time for PPT to actually set up a grip or a lasso from Universe. So I think this is actually, especially from a support, I think you would just actually max X and max torrent and maybe have 1 point to Tidebringer and just, be your initiator, stunner, that kind of situation.
Yeah, could be. Loda going for the Sakuchi. Oh man, there's a haste.
They got a haste as well, okay.
Okay. He didn't pick it up.
He wants it.
I think it's going to be chasing too far. Actually, there's no one nearby. Okay. There's no one nearby. He might actually be dead here.
He's dead.
Torrent. They didn't see him cast it. It's going to hit Ake, but it doesn't hit Loda, unfortunately.
There's a shield.
Shield's going to go boom.
What's the shield purple?
Splat. Loda gets the first blood.
GG. EG versus Meet Your Makers coming up soon.
Yeah, the...
Oh, yep.
Oh, see? Told you it was over.
The haste rune is the only rune that would have killed him there. Which is really unfortunate. Because if it was a DD, even if the Weaver gets a DD, his Sakuchi is such a long cooldown at level 1.
It's not unfortunate.
Well, it's unfortunate for Zai, but it's fortunate for Ake.
Do you think if he had Ice Vortex for the slow, you put the shield on Weaver, actually you don't have enough damage.
He had the shield anyway. Yeah, you don't have the damage, that's what I mean.
Actually, even with a Chilling Touch?
Even with a DD, he wouldn't have killed him. It's because Ake had the ability to chase and get like 3 extra Chilling Touch auto attacks off that he died. Or 4, however many it was.
We will mourn his death.
But yeah, I mean, that's really big though, because the Weaver starting with 400 extra gold means he can go for an early Bassi if he wants one. He can just buy boots, which I guess is what he did.
Actually, as tower diving go, early boots is actually, especially on Weaver, is very, very good. Because your early levels of Sakuchi is fairly short.
And also even after the Sakuchi runs out, having that Apothic shield up, you want to be able to chase for the kind of explosion.
This tri-lane for EG defensively is actually pretty weak. Like, they don't have anything. You can see that Bane's getting Enfeeble at level 1 just to slow down the CS, but Loda's just straight up harassing Mason.
Yeah, I think this lane for EG, as soon as like you see the Weaver AA, there's always the potential for an aggressive lane, but it's not a guarantee because at that point they hadn't really picked like both of their cores yet. So it's really hard to anticipate. It's like, do we go for this or do we go for like a greedier lineup? And I think in a way, like Alliance got a bit of an edge in terms of the laning phase.
Also at the same time, because Bane has got Enfeeble level 1, it makes their rotations or roaming if they want to gank mid lane much weaker. You really need the burst damage from Bane, especially once he has Brains level 2 and 3. So I don't know exactly how EG is going to recover from this because this lane can't even farm.
Well, the other thing too to keep in mind is that under normal circumstances, a tri-lane, like an aggressive one like this, they don't always have the potential to dive, but if Zai and PPD leave, Mason is dead. Like they will dive under the tower and they will kill him every single time. So this is not like other tri-lanes where you can just play defensive and be like, hey, I'm cool, you know, I'll just sit by the tower. Not with this lane.
Universe. To get a bit aggressive on Admiral Bulldog, is 4 stacks up and should be able to pick this one up. It actually just gets the aggro off the tower there as well, and there's a 5th stack. And poor Admiral Bulldog will be dropping. Took a little while, but Universe, Bat versus Doom, is that something you'd normally see?
I think Universe has played it very well. the general rule of thumb is any melee hero, or, well, any hero for that matter, is you don't want to get above 3 stacks. So when you get 3 stacks, you just walk as far away as you can, and maybe Bulldog just counting too much on his tower to keep him alive there.
And that rider had excellent, aggro control under the tower, so it's like...
RTZ's doing really well mid. He's been bottle crowing from very early on, like top on last hits, and he's going to get that DD as well. So S4 having to...
he's going cross west, wow.
Yeah, I thought cross west could be the better choice. You want to disrupt the team fight, surely. More than you want to bring damage to this.
I mean, the team lacks disables, right? That's one thing we mentioned during the draft.
I mean,
but the only extra disable...
Like,
I mean, I guess if you land Tornado, it's good.
Yeah.
At the same time, even though RTZ is doing well in this lane, like he's not playing a hero that could, for example, roam bottom, get a double kill, and then,
And they kind of need some on bottom.
Right, so I feel like RTZ, despite doing well, as long as S4 doesn't leave the lane and could protect his T1 tower, he's fine.
Bottle crowing everywhere for EG. Universe is bottle crowing on the off lane as well. He just sent a bottle back, so he's looking to stay ahead on his lane. And if he can get an early blink as possible, maybe he's the person that's for EG is going to be able to make the rotations and mess up the tri lane.
Speaking of rotation, there's a little bit of damage being dealt here to Zai. Nice Torrent though. Gonna hit on Loda. They go for the Chilling Touch. Nightmare is on. EGM gonna shield it off on Loda. They want to turn it around. They want to go for Mason. They might be able to dive this, but they do need to be careful. There is a full creep wave. That damage output is insane.
They're gonna go back, but the shield's gonna break, giving Zai a little bit more damage. Mason critically went boots first as his item. No greedy for saving up, whether it's Helm of Iron Will or Midas. He needs as much survivability as he can get. Also, the Magic Stick is a big part of that as well.
Yeah, well, I think the one extra strength that you get from a Quasflex Invoker is that he can TP to gank, whereas Exort normally wouldn't.
Well, yeah, Sunstrike.
Well, yeah, but
Exort.
I'm saying like the amount of control and extra kills and damage that you would get from that is going to be quite a bit higher. Arteezy using the rest of his remaining mana.
Yep.
To not take more damage from that.
I don't think he's going to die from this.
S4 wants to make him use it. He wants to make him use it.
Dragon Blood, OP.
Wow, he's being so greedy. He actually gets away with it.
He's going to go back and Flame Breath him? Yep. With the regen on.
That value.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. I'll take that.
Gotta be careful.
He's going to have another Fire Breath soon. S4 knows that, though. He's got Quas regen. S4? Oh.
He's just like... Is he trying to outplay them? Like he's not going to die because he's
blinks first, loses. Stun? That's it. That's the kill.
But there's a TP in, so...
Yeah, he's going down.
Shield? Yeah, there you go.
EGM picks up a nice counter kill.
Well, that's worth for Arteezy.
Yeah, I don't know, man. EGM's going to get level 5 because of that. It's only 5 minutes in. It's pretty good, man. I mean, of course, Invoker dying is bad, but... At least they didn't completely lose out. Balls to steal, though, on S4.
Yeah.
Like, just standing there, dude. It's like, yeah, whatever. Come at me.
I guess it's kind of good EGM getting quite a bit. He got quite a bit in the bottom lane. He even got a little bit of farm where Loda was actually harassing as well. So he could actually be the big kind of mid-game hero in terms of being able to turn the tide for Alliance when the fights will go down. But I still got a feeling Universe is probably the most important player so far on EG's team when it will actually come to matter.
Yeah.
It's going to be huge, these lassos. And he's actually just taken the rune, haste rune. He's going to find S4 in the river, and Arteezy will find him as well. No stun. Oh, he's going to save the stun.
He could have
no rotation coming in.
I think. Wait, did he have mana? It's 200 for Ghost Walk.
And then what, 25? Or is it?
Yeah, but he had 3 one charges. I think he could have Ghost Walked.
Okay.
He could have also EMP'd when he walked up to high ground or something. But yeah, another death for S4.
It's kind of a big deal. S4 generally, if not winning the lane, at least comes out even. We remember that Brewmaster game where he had a tough time in lane and got like a very quick Blink Dagger. Well, Invoker, not only is he gold dependent, he's very level dependent as well. So I'm not sure he's going to have any impact in this game, aside from throwing out like 2 spells in a team fight.
But it's not even like keeping S4 down. It's also like you give Arteezy a good start. You give Universe a slightly better start. And, you know, if Arteezy can get tanky enough, even if you end up throwing a Doom on him, you know, DKs are happy to sit through a Doom and stay in the team fight just to stay in the team fight.
Oh, he'll right click
too. It doesn't take him away, yeah. So it's nice for EG, despite the tri lane not going so well. At least the other 2 lanes have gone pretty good for him.
Yeah, both their solos are actually insanely over-leveled right now. They're going to chase on Zai. Loda, he's got a shield on. He's got that Chilling Touch. I think he's throwing out the Scarabs. Oh, he's faking the Torrent. And Moda, he's going to go for the kill. Chikuchi's farther in. There's nobody on the side of the map for Zai. Like, he's not having the greatest of times right now. There you go.
Well, if you're EG, look at that as like, hey man, we're just going to miss at least 2 waves of farm. Let's just see us.
Yeah, but EGM gets it. It's almost worse.
Yeah.
Like, give it to the Abaddon. Almost level 6.
Actually,
they want to dive this.
Middle tower is under attack.
I feel like Alliance is winning so hard on the offlane that it doesn't even matter that S4 is just having a tough time. I mean, it does. He wants level
Bulldog's died as well. He could be dying again. This is a 2x Kunkka. Oh, they ping it out. They know he's there. Okay.
I think it will matter. I think Zai will still be pretty useful when it comes to the 5v5 fights, even though he's had a bad time. And then things might kick in more for EG.
This Quaswex Invoker Madness doesn't have the damage. RTZ wants to go in. Dragon Tail. TP reaction coming in from EGM. Should be fine.
And then he realized, oh, they had no HP. Probably killed him.
Flame Breath.
Oh, okay. He's a little bit aggressive, guys.
He has no fear.
No fear.
No fear.
I mean, if you know exactly how the cases is going to work out.
But Andy, nor do EG.
That's true. That's true.
That was like 2 weeks ago.
It's fine, dude.
Well, it was awesome. I wasn't here 2 weeks ago.
Fair enough.
So, RTZ, Invis, he pops a bottle, just to have enough mana for the Breathe Fire, and that's another death on S4, man. He's 0-3 right now.
You know what this reminds me of? Like Vigos back in like 3-4 years ago, where he just like makes the mid guy he's playing against look like a scrub. And sorry S4, but RTZ is...
To be honest, the first death was overconfidence. Like,
yeah.
He was trying to make a gutsy play, and it backfired. And that somersaulted into him dying 2 more times, basically. I mean, the Invis was unlucky, but...
We're going to have a blink on Universe now, so a 9-minute blink. And that, when that comes into effect, we should see EG kind of align their efforts a little bit more. And he's going to pick up a smoke on top of it, so we'll see where they're going to want to go. The mid tower goes down to RTZ.
Well, Loda TP's in, and he's actually quite low, so if they have enough chainstun, can get him dead, but looks like they're not focusing top. Would be a TP rotation by now if they want to kill top.
Well, I will say this, like, even if Alliance have a bad time on S4 for a little while, and Bulldog has died once, eventually those heroes are going to get big, right? And then you have to worry about a Doom and a very farmed Weaver. You can Doom one of the cores. I mean, you probably... Well, actually, Luna and DK don't really care about Doom, to be honest. And then you're going to have boat buff on the Doom's target anyway. So, yeah, I'm not sure.
Top lane.
Could be a kill.
Yep, here comes the lasso. We're going to see RTZ reffing first. There's a stun. I think he stunned the creep.
Yeah, and then Lotus Akuchi got picked up.
Yep.
So time lapse.
Didn't matter, man.
Didn't matter, got the kill.
Is under attack.
Kill secured. Well, yeah, that's something. And all this time you have to consider, just because of the rotations and also Loda leaving the offensive tri-lane, they've been able to get some decent farm on the Luna, and they're actually going to pull in Ake and will pick up a kill bot lane. TP rotations coming in. We all see S4 going to pull up a cold snap. Going to have to run away though as Eclipse is used. Here's going to drop, and Loda, all by his lonesome, is like, just take a fight with the creeps. This feels a little bit more comfortable right now.
Yeah, EG destroyed the tier 1 tower up top. They're going to try to go for more. RTZ's going to have Flame Breath, and here comes, what a Flame Breath, pushing Pope people back. Okay, the burst. Does he have a haste rune? He does.
Yeah, he's pretty fast.
Running them down. Okay, Spite
throws out. Yeah, he's like, you know what? You're dying for this, even if you get denied.
Oh,
oh no, he can't get to him! He can't get to him!
Okay, run the other way! Got him.
1 health! He had 1 HP. Oh. So 2 denies in that team fight. EGM denied himself, and then RTZ denied Universe.
I don't know why my chair is just...
Gone crazy?
I think you got the broken one.
I got the Shane one.
Got the fake chair. Still better in favor of all the team fights again in EG. And things are slipping away from Alliance. If you're looking at what Alliance could or should do in terms of items or what they want to do, well, where would you want them to go with this game plan so far, Andy, Lumi?
You mean items for Alliance?
Hides in the trees. Huh?
Items for Alliance, you mean?
Yeah, like anything that you feel like is kind of crucial to get them back into the game. Is it levels? Is it items?
It's levels more than anything. I mean, if you look at the level comparison right now, it's RTZ's level 11 and S4 is level 7. It's not great. Like, if you're that out-leveled on an Invoker, the levels for him are more important than the items. Sure, it's nice to have like a luxury 4 staff or drums or an Aghanims or whatever your item of your choice, but without levels, the hero just doesn't function. It's not like a carry where you can just get gold and make up for his lack of levels in farm. It doesn't work that way for Invoker.
For me, it's if you're in this situation, your items have to help you fight now. I was surprised that Admiral Bulldog didn't pick up a mech because I saw him having 2,000 gold, but instead he's got a Blink Dagger, and I think that Blink Dagger was pinged out. So Admiral Bulldog's first surprise gank might not be that effective. Also, to that point, Loda's gone for drums first. Normally on a Weaver, you want to go for that Lincolns, and then the Deso, you want the big right-click items. But he's really forced to fight, because EG, if you look at their lineup, sure, they have decent mid to late game, but they could also push now. With both online on their support Kunkka, 2 points in Lunar's Plus, and you have a DK in the front line. You could just get every tower outside of the tier 3. So I think Alliance need to have items that fight, and they have to rotate. And here comes a push on tier 1 bot.
RTZ is pretty tanky as well, just having that casual bracer on top of power treads. And also, Fiend's Grip is now online, just level 6 for PPD before this tower gets under siege. And it kind of feels like Alliance pretty hesitant to take this fight, as Universe will scout out and look for a pick, won't find anything. And they're just picking up the farm where else they can, which was mid, with Admiral Bulldog. And also top, it was Loda pushing out. And they're going to back away even before the creeps hit the tower. So EG definitely setting the pace of this game. Definitely be worried if I was a fan for Alliance, and it's going to be interesting to see how this Ghost Ship, just a level 7 Kunkka, will come into play in the next team fights. But you have to be pretty scared going up against a Bat Rider and a Shadow Blade DK right now, surely. Is it even worse? Even worth trying to go for like an early gem to try and stop like some of the initiations?
I think the gem carrier would just die. I think you kind of have to. You have to sentry basically like,
everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. RTZ looking to strike.
Yeah, there's no sentry down either. The sentry is actually for EG, so they know that there's no detection in this lane.
They also know EGM is here. I don't think they can get a kill. They have a shield.
Wow, that reaction
nice
time.
Tornado.
Yeah, the shield comes on. That should be it. EG has an Observe War in front of that tier 2, so they also see Admiral Bulldog coming in.
Yeah, but what can they do? Like, the thing is, Alliance don't have a team for initiation. That's why I thought, like, so surely that it was going to be an X or an Invoker, because if you don't have initiation, Quatswex just doesn't really feel that good. Wow, they're going to X and send RTZ back to base. Talk about value.
Crow. He's even going to bottle Zai, so that X was free.
Universe being doomed.
Getting chased down by Loda in the woods. Loda actually time lapses. It's like, nope, I don't want any part of this.
X torn on Doom, but he's very, very tanky. The Eclipse comes off, as well as a grip. They get Doom dead immediately, so that Doom did not even fire off. Meanwhile, what a tornado grabs everybody, but do they have enough damage follow-up? They don't. Nightmare goes on RTZ. Nightmare's taken. The boat's gonna hit. No, he will not, but it gives everybody at least movement speed. Meanwhile, the Urn goes on S4. He's straight up dead. Loda, there's nowhere for him to run. There's detection everywhere. One more right click's gonna do the job, and Mason, well, he's gonna take down at least the Bane with him. My mistake for calling the Doom. Looks like he doomed somebody else before the fight even broke out.
Yeah, he doomed Universe, and Universe ran away. But that was really bizarre. Like, that whole engagement was just really weird.
It's like Alliance feel like there's not going to be probably many opportunities to get a team fight in their favor, but when you push the DK away and send him back with no mana, it feels like you kind of want to make something happen, and that's why they chase maybe a little bit too far, even with Doom used on Universe. Yeah. But yeah, of course, RTZ came back, and it was all in favor of VG at the end. But not huge match. I think it was like 4-2 in kills in that last engagement.
Yeah, I really like the way that EG's been using their Kunkka as well. Like, the support Kunkka is something that we haven't seen in a very, very long time. And it used to be run pretty much as a roamer, like more than anything else. It's like you set him up with a guaranteed stun at level 3, and then you have somebody else there with him. Like, anybody really works, because X range is actually fairly long in comparison to what most supports can do once the X is actually level 2. But just being able to go back to base like that, it doesn't seem like a big thing, but you're spending, what, like 2 minutes less walking around the map every time you do that? Yeah. Like, give or take. So, and then you don't have to waste a TP to get back to a tower to continue farming. So just having that kind of map efficiency is huge.
Almost reminds me of Ember Spirit. Like, sure, you have to jump to another hoop to do it, but that effect is so powerful. He was even able to bottle Zai up, on the way back, having a full bottle.
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff.
Gem on Universe now as well, so Yeah, like Alliance feels like they need another good 10 minutes farming and getting some core items, like even just finishing the 4 staff on S4, getting something decent on Doom, so when he actually blinks in, he's got some sort of power to the team fight. But speaking of Doom, Admiral Bulldog and Ake are going to be smoked in the enemy jungle. Just going to eat up a creep, and nothing really going to happen down here apart from picking up the tier 1 tower potentially, but they might be trading it for a tier 2. There's Universe with Lasso available, looking to strike. Tornado EMP onto RTZ, will connect, and he will have 15 1 charges though. And that tier 2 tower goes down. So Alliance avoiding the fights the best they can, trying to get the items up, and Loda heading towards his Lincolns as well. But wow, EG just digging out the tier 3 tower.
Yeah, again,
gonna put some pressure.
Alliance have this lineup, at least hero-wise. They don't really do much later on, so EG is appropriately punishing them for that. I mean, they have a DK, one of the best tower pushers, and if he's ever low or needs mana, XTP, man. What a tech.
I don't know, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, that tier 1 bottom died, and they traded a tier 2 mid for it, and that was where Alliance put their aggressive tri-lane that was supposedly winning really hard, but we're gonna have to wait on that. S4, he gets lassoed, initiation's there. It actually hits quite well on the EMP, but doesn't really seem to matter. Here comes the boat buff to try to keep the team alive for the time being. Boat is gonna hit there on Ake in the back. He manages to go down. Loda gets Fiend's Grip as well. That's 2 kills right now going in favor of EG. They're continuing to chase out. EG continuing to go on EGM right now. Ultimate going to be popped. Here comes the Eclipse. Mason wants to go back in. S4. I think this is a dieback. If he dies again, yep, not great.
Can they even kill anybody? No, they can't. Mason just runs out of there. Blink Admiral Bulldog just wanted one more hit. 5 people dead, or 6, right, with the dieback?
So how fast do you think you can make Alliance GG? Because I wouldn't have said before 20 minutes, but after that team fight, they don't have a lot
diebacked, right? Like Invoker bought out.
Yeah, RTZ X-backed, and he's now full HP.
That's so good. Like, that is so good.
Yeah. What a change.
The thing is, outside of a coddle, like, no other hero can do that for you.
Top tower has fallen.
GG.
And there you go.
Right before 20 minutes.
19 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah, one of the big things in the last fight as well was the Ice Blast from Ake. Unfortunately, ended up missing on the target they wanted to take down. I can't remember who it was that was doomed, but it was like, oh, that didn't hit. And then I think it was actually the Luna. So missing the Luna. And then, yeah. All right, build your team around a little bit of RTZ. But S4 mid?
Didn't do well. He was level 8 at the end of the game.
He was lower level than EGM.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he got ganked, right? It was just a straight up 1v1.
Well, he kind of overstayed his welcome a handful of times. Like, he was playing it very confidently, but the thing is, Quas, Wex, Invoker doesn't do any damage. So every single time he had an opportunity to like try to pressure Arteezy, you cold snap, and Arteezy would always use his mana before EMP landed. That way the EMP never did anything to him. Like, so even when he had the regen, like, he was just sitting on it. He's like, yeah, okay, if you don't kill me here, I'm going to be back full HP. And
I mean, this game, you know, it's almost like a Don King match, wasn't it? Like boxing, you know?
Yeah.
Alex Garfield basically said...
We need EG to go through.
Wow.
Hey.
Wow.
What?
That's... Wow. How dare you question the integrity
S4
of the owner of esports?
to be honest, though, it was uncharacteristically bad play from him.
There was multiple times.
Uncharacteristically so, yes.
Like, one of the first things you check before a fight happens is how much magic wand charges they have. And the DK had 15 wand. And he was like right-clicking, oh, wand, 5 breath, dead.
Yeah, it was really bizarre. I still think Exor would have been better. But we'll
Maybe he
never know.
just ate something that was not like good.
Sushi from a pizza place.
Right, maybe he
should talk to
got like
Alliance.
some problems with his girlfriend. Who knows, right? Like,
Oh, well, either way, it is going to be Evil Geniuses to take the win over Alliance. So we're going to go to a quick break. That was a quick game. We should be catching up in time. And when we come back, EG will go against Meet Your Makers, and we'll be joined by James when we come back.